Hey everyone, welcome to Yoga with Sinclair. This is yoga for a tight neck and tight shoulders. You will need a prop, just a strap, maybe a belt or a scarf, even a tie will work. We're going to begin seated. Go ahead and loop your shoulders up and back, opening up your chest, shoulder blades drawing close together down your spine. Go ahead and close your eyes, begin to breathe nice and deeply in through your nose, expanding your chest. Nice full exhale, navel hugging into your spine. And right here, as we're deepening our breath, we're going to go ahead and set our intentions for the practice to let go of all of our stress, all of our worries, and just focus on right here, right now. Try as hard as you can to stay present. Keep breathing nice and deeply, letting go of all of our worries with each exhale, feeling a little bit more grounded with each exhale. From here, we're going to go ahead and drop our chin nice and slowly. Start to make big circles with your nose, moving even slower than you want to. Really getting into all the nooks and crannies of your neck, releasing any tension that might have built up from holding up our big heavy heads all day. Now taking it back the opposite direction. Again, moving even slower than you want to. Still trying to keep those shoulders pulled back, chest open, even while we're doing this. One more time around, going this direction. Go ahead and lift your head. From here, we're going to inhale our left arm up and wrap it around our head, gently pulling our left ear towards our left shoulder, opening up the right side of our neck. Breathing into all that space we're creating, relaxing as much as possible. And if it feels okay, maybe taking your right fingertips to your right shoulder, pulling it down very slightly, very gently. If you'd like a little bit more, maybe walking those left fingertips out to the side. Again, still trying to relax as much as possible, still breathing as deeply as possible. Gently release. Inhale your right arm up and over, gently pulling your right ear towards your right shoulder. Trying to relax your shoulders, relax your neck. This time taking your left fingertips towards your left shoulder, maybe slightly pulling it down. Again, if you'd like a little bit more, maybe walking those left fingertips out away from your body. And keep in mind, all I'm saying here today are suggestions. If it doesn't feel right for your body, please do not do it. Try to relax as much as you can and keep those breaths deep as you gently release. We're going to make our way to all fours, hands right underneath shoulders, knees right underneath hips. Inhale, drop your belly, chin up, tailbone up. Exhale, press the ground away, get as tall as you can as you tuck your chin and your tailbone. Inhale, drop your belly. Exhale, getting nice and tall, cat back. Moving with your breath here. And again, I encourage you to explore with some movement. So if you'd like to take your head from side to side in your cow back or your cat back, please feel free to do so. Each inhale, dropping your belly, really stretching that tummy out. Each exhale, pressing the ground away, breathing into those muscles in your back, opening them up a little bit. One more big deep breath in. One more big deep breath out. From here, we're going to inhale your left arm all the way up and over to the side. Exhale, thread the needle, placing your left ear and your left hand down on the ground. Taking nice deep breaths, breathing into that space we're creating in our upper back, that space in between our shoulder blades. Giving ourselves a nice little massage with our breath. Trying to relax as much as possible, release any tension. Press your right hand into the ground to lift your left arm up into the side. Exhale back to tabletop. Inhale your right arm up and over. Exhale, placing your right ear, the back of your right hand down on the mat. And again, taking nice and deep breaths, breathing into that space in your upper back. Trying to relax your body as much as you can. And remember, we have nowhere to go, nothing to do. Just focusing on right here, right now. I'm going to take one more big inhale. Press your left hand into the mat to lift your right arm up and over. Exhale back to tabletop. We're going to walk our hands forward just a little. Tuck your toes and send it up and back to downward facing dog. So reach those sit bones up towards the sky. Press evenly into all 10 fingers. Heels reaching for the ground. From here, we're going to take a big deep breath in. On our exhale, rolling out to our plank pose. Core stays nice and tight. Inhale. Exhale back to downward facing dog. Working to open up those shoulders. Moving with your own breath. Inhale. Exhale plank. Inhale, exhale, down dog. Inhale, plank. Exhale, exhale, coming out to your plank. Inhale, exhale, coming back to your downward facing dog. A few more here, stick with it. Moving into your plank pose. We're going to drop our knees here. Hug your elbows into your sides as you lower all the way down, kind of like a vinyasa. We're going to inhale up to our cobra pose, and from here, replace our hands with our elbows, so our elbows are right underneath our shoulders, coming into our Sphinx pose. Try to pull your shoulders back away from your ears. Keep your chest open. And if it feels okay, maybe taking your ears from side to side. Exhale, release down, plant your hands, coming up through your cobra pose again, elbows pulling close together behind you. Exhale, drop it right back down, tuck your toes. We're going to press ourselves up through our half plank and back to our downward facing dog. Maybe pressing into one hand and then the other, and slowly walking our feet up to meet our hands. We're going to hang out in our forward fold for just a moment, so bend your knees, relax your spine as much as you can, relax your head and your neck. Think like a rag doll here, so maybe grabbing opposite elbows, maybe shaking your head very, very slightly, yes and no, releasing the weight of your head from your neck, from your upper back. Still breathing just as deeply as the beginning of practice. We're going to bend our knees, roll all the way up to standing, arms float out and overhead. Make sure your tailbone is pointing down. Maybe roll out your wrist just a little bit here. Big deep breath in, exhale, forward fold. From here, we're going to inhale, bring it up halfway to our flat back. So fire up those back muscles. Pull your shoulder blades close together down your back. Exhale, fold it right back down and step back to your plank pose. So again, pressing the ground away, core is tight. Exhale, either drop your knees or lower down halfway. Inhale up to your cobra pose or up dog. Exhale back to your downward facing dog. Taking a second to get yourself adjusted here. Maybe roll out your ankles, open up your shoulders a little bit. Breathing nice and deeply as you slowly walk those feet up to meet your hands. We're going to come back into another forward fold. So let your head and your neck totally relax. Grab opposite elbows here. Continue to deepen your breath. Try to slow it down. Bend your knees, roll all the way up to standing, arms float out and overhead. This time on your exhale, coming into goalpost arms or cactus arms. So you want your elbows reaching forward, fingertips reaching back. Arms are nice and wide, really breathing into your armpit chest, trying to open up that part of our body. But keeping your core tight. You don't want to sacrifice your low back at all. Exhale, drop your hands. We're going to have our thumbs face the front of the room and imagine that your fingers are growing down and away from you, really opening up the front line of your body. From here, we're going to take our palms to the front of the room. Again, growing our fingers down. Should be a nice opening on the inside of your arms. Taking your head from side to side. Gently release. We're going to loop our shoulders up and back a couple times here. Inhale, your arms come all the way up and overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, coming up halfway. Again, fire up those back muscles. Exhale, fold it right back down. Plant your hands and step it back to your plank pose. Take a nice big inhale. Exhale, vinyasa down, lowering either halfway or lowering all the way down to your belly, And this time coming into our Sphinx pose again. So pull those shoulders back away from your ears. We're going to suck our belly button into our spine as we tuck our toes and make our way up into Dolphin pose. So like a downward facing dog, but on our forearms. Chest is pressing back towards our feet. And this is a pretty intense pose. So if this is enough for you, feel free to stay here. If you'd like a little bit more, on your exhale, we're going to come forward, placing our chin on the mat and right back down to that dolphin pose. Exhale, chin kisses the mat. Inhale, back to your dolphin. Exhale, chin kisses the mat, strengthening and opening up our shoulders here. And back to our dolphin. Go ahead and kiss that chin down to your mat one more time and back to your dolphin pose. From here, if you can, maybe walking your toes in a little bit closer towards your arms. Really press your chest back towards your feet. Try to breathe as deeply as you can here before dropping your knees. We're going to come into a nice child's pose, so sinking your hips back towards your heels, reaching those fingertips forward. Maybe stretching from side to side if that feels okay. Before finally sinking into your child's pose, fingertips reaching forward. Your whole body is relaxing. If your breath has gotten any shorter or faster, try to slow it down. Very slowly walk those fingertips out and over to the left-hand side, turning your chin and your nose underneath your right armpit, really reaching through those right fingertips, stretching out your right lat through your right armpit, your right shoulder. Breathing deep into your belly, and on your exhale, coming through center and up and over to the right side. This time your head turns underneath your left armpit, really reaching out through those left fingertips. Trying to relax your body as much as you can. Before nice and slowly walking those hands right back to center. We're going to reach our fingertips all the way out in front of us. See if your arms grew just a little bit. And nice and slowly walk your hands back in towards your body. If your knees are okay with it, feel free to stay like this. If not, come into a nice seated position. We're going to loop our shoulders up and back a few times. Chest is open. Before swimming our fingertips back behind us, interlacing our hands and pressing our knuckles down and away from our body. Try to keep your core tight here. And again, if it feels okay, maybe taking your ears from shoulder to shoulder. Maybe taking really, really big and slow neck circles here. Not only opening up our chest, the front of our shoulders, but also opening up our neck. Go ahead and take it back the opposite direction. Still breathing as deeply as you can. Gently release your hands, loop your shoulders up and back. From here, we're going to tuck our toes and again send our hips up and back to downward facing dog. Pedaling out your feet, opening up the backs of your legs a little bit, bringing some blood flow back to your feet before inhaling your right leg up and back. Exhale, core is tight. We're going to step our right foot up in between our hands. Inhaling up to our crescent lunge. Full body experience here, keeping your core tight. Exhale, coming into those goalpost arms, really opening up your armpit chest. Again, breathing as slowly as you can. Exhale, fingertips rain down behind you. Interlace your hands. Press your chest up towards the ceiling as your fingers press down towards the ground. Try to keep your core tight here, again, so we don't sacrifice our low back at all. No slingshots as you release those hands. Exhale all the way down to your foot. We're going to step it back to our three-legged dog. Gently release our right foot. This time inhaling your left foot up and back. Exhale nice and slowly, step that left foot up in between your hands. Inhale up to your crescent lunge. Take a nice big inhale on your exhale, coming into those cactus arms. Elbows reaching forward, fingers reaching back. Breathing into that space you're creating in your chest. Big inhale. Exhale, rain those fingertips down behind you to interlace your hands. Again, pressing those knuckles down and away from your body. Try to keep your tailbone pointing down so we don't hurt our low back. Big, deep breaths in. Very gently, we're going to release our hands. Float all the way back down, planting our hands on either side of our foot. And stepping it back to our downward facing dog. Pedal out those feet. Notice how your hips are feeling now. And very slowly start to walk those feet up to meet your hands. Just kidding, we're going to drop our knees down. Try to keep your hips lifted right over those knees as we slowly walk our fingertips forward, coming into our puppy dog pose. So this, again, is pretty intense. You want to try to keep your chin or your forehead down on the mat, reaching those fingertips forward, really opening up through your armpits here. Again, your booty is sticking way up in the air. And if you'd like even more, you can bring your palms together, interlace your hands, and bring that clasp right behind your head, only if it's okay with your body. Please, no forcing anything. Still breathing just as deeply as before. Go ahead and release those hands, making your way back to puppy dog pose for just a moment. Very slowly start to walk your hands back in towards your body. From here, making it back to downward facing dog. Notice how different your shoulders feel. Notice if they feel any more open at all. And now we're slowly going to walk our feet in to meet our hands. Pedal out those feet, roll yourself all the way up to standing. Loop your shoulders up and back. From here, we're going to lift our arms up very slowly, lifting our right leg up, Crossing our right leg up and over our left as we come into a little squat, little chair pose. Bring your hands out in front of you. Left elbow comes underneath your right as we try to twist our arms twice, coming into eagle arms and eagle legs. So your legs are trying to twist twice, so are your arms. If your palms can't touch, try to press the backs of your hands in towards one another. And maybe pulsing with your breath if it feels okay. Each exhale, bringing those elbows down. Each inhale, trying to bring them up. Go ahead and come back to center. Breathing nice and deeply. And just as slowly as we got into the pose, we're going to release the pose. Lower down that right leg. Maybe give your whole body a little shake, looping your shoulders up and back. Same thing, other side. Inhale those arms all the way up and overhead. So we slowly lift our left leg. Sit back into your right heel as we cross our left leg up and over. Try to wrap your foot around twice. If not, you can use that left foot as a little kickstand. Hands come out in front of you. This time right elbow underneath left. Trying to cross once at the elbows, once at the wrists. Again, if you can't press your palms in towards one another, try to press the backs of your hands into one another. Exhale, lightly dropping those elbows. Inhale, lifting them up even with your shoulders. And repeating only if it feels okay. This is, again, a pretty intense pose. Squeezing everything here. Go ahead and come back to center. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. And again, just as slowly as we got into it, we're going to unravel. Nice and slowly make our way down to seated. You want your fingers pointing towards your heels, your knees bent, heels planted. We're going to inhale up to our reverse tabletop. So opening up the front of our shoulders here, pressing our hips up towards the ceiling. Breathing nice and deeply. As you can see, my belly really rising and falling with each exhale. Couple more breaths here. Big deep breath in. Exhale just as slowly. We're going to release. And from here, I'm going to go ahead and grab your strap. We're going to tuck our left heel back behind us on the right side, crossing our right leg up and over, coming into a cow face pose. So your heels are back towards your booty, knees on top of one another. We're going to take the strap in our left hand, drape it back behind our head, grabbing it with our right hand, only if you need to. If you can grab your fingers here, please do so. My shoulders just aren't that tight just yet. You're working on opening up that left armpit, opening up that right shoulder. This is cow face pose. Pretty intense again, so breathe nice and deeply, nice and slowly. Try to relax as much as you can as we're opening up our body here. Very gently, we're going to release that. Coming in to eagle arms again, so left arm underneath our right, crossing at the elbows and again at the wrists. And again, pulsing with our breath. Exhale, dropping those elbows. Inhale, reaching them up, even with our shoulders. Exhale, dropping them down. Inhale, bringing them up. Couple more times. Exhale, dropping them down, bringing them back up. Moving with your own breath. Breathing into that space we're creating. Very gently release. We're going to switch our legs. So this time, right leg on bottom, left knee on top, knees pointing straight forward. If you need the strap, we're going to grab it in our right hand, drape it back behind us, If not, go ahead and reach those left fingertips up. We're grabbing fingers here. This is the full version of cow face pose. Breathing really, really deeply here. Opening up our right armpit and the front of our left shoulder. Try to stay as present as you can, especially in these poses like this, these difficult poses. Try to focus on all the sensations that you're feeling. Focus on your breath. Very gently release. Coming into eagle arms again, so this time right elbow underneath left, crossing at the elbows and again at the wrists. Trying to press our palms together, but if not, pressing the backs of our hands together does just the same. Inhale, lifting those elbows up even with our shoulders. Exhale, dropping them down. Pulsing with your breath. So moving at your own speed, trying to make it nice and slow. Couple more times. Very gently go ahead and release that. Release your legs. We're going to do one more reverse tabletop. So feet planted, fingers pointing towards your booty. Inhale up to that reverse tabletop. Keep your chin tucked if that feels okay. If you'd like to go ahead and drop your head back, feel free to do so, only if you have the space, not forcing anything, not sacrificing the integrity of our pose. Try to deepen your breath here. I know it's easy to hold your breath. Exhale, gently release. We're going to make our way back to just a cross-legged position. Inhale your right arm up and over, pulling your right ear towards your right shoulder, just like we did at the beginning. Gently pulling that left shoulder down, breathing into that space we're creating in our neck. Maybe walking those left fingertips out away from your body. Gently releasing. Same thing, other side, left arm goes up and over, gently pulling your left ear towards your left shoulder. Right fingertips to the top of that right shoulder, gently pulling it down. Maybe walking those right fingertips out away from your body if it feels okay. Sending all your breath to that area of your neck that we're opening up. Very gently releasing, looping those shoulders up and back again. We're going to bring our feet out in front of us, slowly roll down to our backs. Keep your knees hugging into your chest. Very slowly rocking back and forth from side to side, giving your low back a nice little massage. Before coming back to center, squeeze those knees into your chest. Exhale, release your feet down. Try to walk your shoulders underneath your body just a little before taking your palms down by your sides, facing up. Taking your right foot to the right corner of your mat, left foot to the left corner. Closing your eyes and relaxing your body totally. Again, in your final Shavasana, it's so important to stay present, not to let those thoughts get away from you. Let your body soak up all the nutrients, all the medicine of your practice as you continue to breathe nice and deeply. Go ahead and silently thank yourself for spending this time on your mind, on your body, carving the time out of your busy schedule. The benefits of this practice are truly countless. So feel free to stay here for a few minutes, at least a couple more minutes. Don't forget to subscribe for more videos and send me your requests. Thanks, guys.